Hello, I'm Grammy Sally Gunn. What's the best treat that you can think might be possible for your birthday? A cake and ice cream party for you and your friends? Going to the beach? Having a scavenger hunt? Well, Mason, the birthday boy in today's story, couldn't wait to celebrate his birthday with a sleepover at the Museum of Natural History, his favorite place to visit. His parents take him and his two best friends and their sleeping bags there for an overnight in Mason's favorite room. But Mason and his friends have to figure what room that is. Sleepover at the Museum, our book today by Karen LeFrak and illustrated by David Bucs, shows the rooms that they visit and how Mason decides. Maybe someday you will be able to explore a natural history museum, or maybe you've done it already. I've enjoyed the ones in Cleveland, in Pittsburgh, and Washington, D.C., but any good museum contains a lot to amaze you. There are all kinds of museums. Maybe a day trip for your next birthday. Some museums have sleepovers. Check it out. Sleepover at the Museum by Karen LeFrak, illustrated by David Bucs. And this is a representation of what you might receive if you went to a museum. Sometimes they give you a kind of a map as though you're looking down on top of it to show you how to get around from room to room. Mason couldn't wait. Today was the best part of the year, his birthday. Tonight he was going to have a sleepover party at the Museum of Natural History, his favorite place to visit. Mason and his two best friends, Zoe and Will, were ready for adventure. Mason's parents led them inside. They met their guide right next to giant fighting dinosaurs. Well, the skeletons of the giant fighting dinosaurs. "Hi, guys. My name's Jesse," said a young man. "I'll be showing you around the museum. Follow me. I have a surprise." "Welcome to the Discovery Room," said Jesse. "Tonight, you'll be going on a scavenger hunt, and if you solve all the clues, Mason can choose the hall for your sleepover." Mason and his friends were excited. They loved solving mysteries. Look at this. They have this set up just like an archaeological dig. "Here's how you wear a headlamp," said Jesse, demonstrating. "They're perfect for dark hallways." He handed Mason the map and clue sheet. "If everyone's ready, let's get started." Out in the hallway, Mason read the first clue. "Of all the planets around the sun, thousands of rings surround this one." Zoe searched the map and pointed toward the Earth and Space Room, and they took off. There it is, the planet Saturn. Mason checked off the clue. First mystery solved. They all laughed as Will pretended to be an astronaut taking giant slow-motion steps on the moon. But Saturn felt too far away from his own home planet. Mason would rather sleep somewhere else. Mason's friends gathered around to hear him read the second clue. "He comes from an egg. His size gives him fame. This king of the reptiles has quite a long name." "Hey, I think I know this one," said Mason, smiling. Aha! When they reached the Hall of Dinosaurs, the friends stopped in their tracks. Tyrannosaurus Rex loomed over them. "Look at this sign." "It says the king of the dinosaurs," said Will. "And dinosaurs were reptiles," added Zoe. "And Rex means king." Mason checked off the second clue, while Zoe pretended that she was a velociraptor. Will studied the pterosaur flying overhead. Mason thought his birthday was off to a great start, but he didn't think he could fall asleep with T-Rex standing over them in the dark. It was time for the third clue. So Mason read, "This mammal that uses his nose as a hose can wash his huge body and all 20 toes." "I've got this one," said Will, starting to run. "We'll follow you," said Jessie. "Ah, there they are," said Will, pointing to the herd of elephants in the Hall of African Mammals. "Look at those tusks," exclaimed Mason. "Check us out," said Will to Zoe. He and Mason beat their chests like the gorillas in the exhibit nearby. Zoe read the sign. "An elephant herd is always led by a female elephant." Ha! Smart animals. Mason didn't think he could sleep while being stalked by a lion or stepped on by giant elephant feet. What would be the best sleeping spot? He wondered. "Can I read the next clue this time?" asked Will, and Mason nodded and handed him the clue sheet. "The hardest gems you'll find on earth will dazzle you for all they're worth." I'm stumped," said Will, but Zoe pointed and the boys followed. "Just look at the diamond sparkle," Zoe said. "You solved it," said Mason. "It says right here that diamonds are the hardest minerals on earth." The friends high-fived each other. They made a great team. "Mining sounds like hard work," said Mason after reading a sign. The Hall of Minerals was spectacular, but Mason did not think he would sleep well there. Between glittering gems and thoughts of mining, he wouldn't be able to relax. Mason read the next clue. "These birds had feathers but could not soar. They're now extinct. There are no more." "I know this one," said Mason. "It's this way," and they took off. They entered the Hall of Biodiversity, and Zoe spotted it first. "Oh, the dodo bird!" she cried. "Exactly," said Mason. And you know that the dodo bird is an extinct animal. It no longer exists. "You kids are amazing," said Jessie. "Let's walk through the Life on Earth exhibit. We can see 3.5 billion years of evolution in a few minutes." Mason had learned a lot in the Hall of Biodiversity, but sleeping with the extinct predators would make him feel like prey. "2 more clues to go, guys," said Mason. "These fragile insects, queens or kings, are always noticed for their wings." Will flapped his arms and said, "Follow me." "Oh, look at that. Whoa," exclaimed Will. "The butterfly pavilion. Oh my goodness, isn't that beautiful?" "It feels like a rainforest." "Monarch is another word for queen or king," read Mason. "Right," said Zoe. "Then a monarch butterfly is a queen or king with wings." "Another clue solved," said Mason. It was beautiful here, Mason thought, but the butterflies would probably tickle them while they slept. Plus, it felt as hot as a real rainforest. Now he was getting worried. Where were they going to sleep? "It's our final clue," said Mason. "Let's read it together." "You've done so well. It's getting late. What can we eat to celebrate?" "I know this one," said Will, rubbing his belly. "It's my favorite thing about birthdays." "Cake," they yelled. And look at them track their way all the way back through all the things that they visited and right into the birthday room. They ran all the way to the party room. When Jessie caught up, he congratulated them on solving every clue. "We did it together," said Mason. "You guys are great friends and super at solving mysteries." Jessie asked, "So have you decided where to sleep tonight, Mason?" Mason took another look at his map. "I finally have the perfect place in mind. I'll take you there right after cake and presents." Another mystery, said Zoe. Soon to be solved, said Will, finishing off his second piece of cake. Aha, there it is, the Hall of Ocean Life, said Mason. The best place to sleep in the museum. It feels just like being underwater. He placed his sleeping bag directly below the blue whale, his very favorite animal. Look, said Zoe, the whale has a belly button just like we do. You know what would be dangerous? Asked Will, looking at the open mouth of a great white, helping a shark brush its teeth. Mason and Zoe laughed. We'd better brush our own teeth, said Zoe, yawning. Sleepy at last, Mason imagined floating in the ocean on top of the blue whale and being gently rocked by waves. He gazed at the behemoth one last time before closing his eyes. A behemoth is a huge thing. Then he whispered, "Good night, whale. Good night, friends," and fell fast asleep on his best birthday ever. In the back of this book, they tell you various museums where you might be able to spend an overnight and actually just see the museum, and other things that are not exactly museums but certainly have a lot of interest for anyone, things to be amazed about. I hope you enjoyed that. I really did myself.